In this lesson, we'll set up our IK-FK switches. Let's start by adding custom parameters to our center of gravity control to switch between IK and FK on both the arms and legs. So with the COG selected, we'll move over to our modify panel. Notice we already have our attribute holder and we already have an attribute that exists. So let's go ahead and start to populate this list. We'll press Alt-1 to grab our parameter editor. Let's switch our parameter type to Boolean. And since we're already working with a checkbox, just to avoid the confusion here, let's go ahead and switch our UI type to a check button. All right, so the first one we'll name L_leg_IK. Let's go ahead and enter and take a look at the button. So you can see right now the length of the button will work. No need to change the width. So we can now go ahead and choose add. Now the next one we'll create is going to be for the right leg. We will not have an FK button because that's pointless. When this button is off, that means that we're in FK mode. When we click on the button, that means we're in IK. So this is going to be pretty fun. Let's go ahead and create the next button, and we'll name that R_leg_IK, and we'll go ahead and add it. All right, so we just have a few more for the arms. That's going to be L_arm_IK. Let's go ahead and do one for the right side. All right, great. I would like to also point out, if you would like to, you can go ahead and change your highlight color, but I'm going to go ahead and leave it as is, and we'll choose add. All right, so we now have our buttons in place. It's now time to work with wire parameters to get this all set up. So let's go ahead and get started. With the COG still selected, we will right-click and grab wire parameters. That's going to be modified object, extra controls, custom attributes, and we'll grab L_leg_IK. And now let's go ahead and find the thigh bone, the main thigh that is. And that's going to be transform, rotation, orient constraint, weight 0. All right, so remember that's IK, so what we need to do is just go ahead and choose connect. We'll just do a direct connection. Now for FK, we know what we need to do here. We need to make sure the value goes in reverse, and we've done this already when we have set up our dynamic parent system. So what we need to do is add 1 minus to our equation. So that's going to be 1 minus followed by the result. And now we can go ahead and connect this, and we're good to go. All right. So once that's taken care of, we can go ahead and do the same thing for the character's shin. Again, we simply would go to our center of gravity, go ahead and wire parameters, find the parameter. We're still working with L_leg_IK, and we need to now tie this to our main shin bone. From there, we'll go ahead and find the orientation constraint. There's weight 0. Let's go ahead and do a direct connection. And now for the second channel, that's going to be 1 minus, followed by L_IK. All right, so let's go ahead and choose connect. So if you wanted to go ahead and test this out, you most certainly can now, since the left leg is finished. So if you want to, you can go in and, let's say, grab the FK bone. You'll notice that as we start to move this, the main chain will follow. Very fun. All right, let's go ahead and undo back. Let's see what happens when we go ahead and turn on IK mode. So go to the center of gravity. We'll go ahead and enable IK. Here we go. When we grab our goal object, as we start to move this, notice the chain now follows the IK system. Very nice. Watch, when we go back to our center of gravity and we turn that off, we switch back to FK, turn that on, back to IK. And have a lot of fun with that. All right, so let's go ahead and undo back to bring everything back to where it was. Very nice. So now that that's connected, we want to do the same thing for our right side, and that's what's going to finish up this lesson. So again, we go in, we grab our center of gravity control, we go ahead and wire our parameters. That's going to be modified object, extra controls. This time we're grabbing R_leg_IK, and we're tying that to the main thigh first. That's going to be transform, rotation, we'll grab our orient constraints first weight, and that's going to be a direct connection. And then for the second one, that's simply going to be 1 minus our leg IK. Let's go ahead and make sure to use the lower arrow and choose connect. So I'll leave the shin up to you, and that's going to be the last step for this lesson. So in the following lesson, we're ready to start rigging our IK legs.